Okay guys, we got a big ride coming up, so I thought I'll just give you a quick rundown of how to prep your bike for a big ride. You guys might have other ideas, but I'll give you a few points. You do day to day, you do a check which is called an ABC check, which you check the air pressure in your tire, the brakes and the chain. But I'm going to show you another check for a big ride that we do. It's called an M check. Reason it's called an M check is, see this pattern here, so it's basically the M. So all the points you check. So if we start off with the first checkpoint, which is this area around here, make sure the quick release is not too tight, just enough tight, right, so that this is too tight, so it leaves just a finger, just enough print on your palm, and that's tight enough. And then make sure the tire is freely moving. As you can see, this one's touching a brake pad. Adjust the brake pad, making sure the wheel is moving freely and not buckling too much. Okay, check the front brake. Okay, making sure the brake pads are actually in line with the rim. Same on the other side. Okay, if they need adjusting, adjust it. And also, sometimes when you change your tires on the bike upside down and you put your wheel back in, it doesn't actually sit on the grooves correctly. So what you could do is, when you've got the bike this way and you just do this, you find the wheel goes in place nicely. Okay, make sure the quick release is not against the frame. You'll end up scratching it, damaging your frame. Make sure there's enough tire pressure. I usually do between 90 to 100 psi tire pressure. So that's that area done. You move up to this area here, which is the M check, making sure the handlebar is straight. Okay, it's aligned with the tires. If not, you know how to adjust it by these two bolts here. And also check the headrest, that there is no shake. So to check the headset area, what you do, you apply the front brake, and if you put your hand on this headrest, you can feel it. This one's fine, but if you find any wobbling, any shaking in there, then the headrest needs looking at. Okay, and this must be done for safety reasons as well. Okay, so once the headrest, there's no shaking, I hand the handlebar straight, you're good to move on to the next area, which is this area here, the chain area. Now, number one, first of all, make sure your chains are nice and clean and you've oiled them. Remember guys, when you oil the chain, you need to get another rug and wipe the chain clean again. When you wipe the chain clean, it doesn't actually take the grease off the chain in the middle. So basically, when you clean the chain, it doesn't actually take the grease off from inside, and that's where you need the grease inside. So when you're greasing it, don't just plot it like this. You need to go kind of diagonal, like this, on every single link, and then wipe it clean. And what that does is, any excess grease that's left outside is cleaned out, or otherwise you attract all the dust onto your chain. Okay, once your chain's okay, make sure the gears are changing smoothly. Okay, both sides of the gears. Just give it a little spin. Put it on a bike stand if you've got one, and check that the gears are changing correctly, especially the front one going to the small ring and big ring for your hill climbings. And the pedal turn freely. Okay, check on the pedal. Also check there is no movement in the pedal cranks. Okay, and the chain are not touching the front derailleur. Okay, and you can do that by just spinning, and you can see it or hear it. Again, this is a bit more technical. You need to adjust your limit screws, the high and low screws here, to adjust it. Okay, then we move up here. This point, this area, just making sure the seat is not wobbling. Okay, it's nice and steady and tight. Okay, make sure your clamps are tight and you've got the seat in the right position, right height. Okay, then we move around this area, the final check area, making sure that this derailleur is not physically touching the spokes on the wheels. Make sure your cassette is nice and clean and again greased. derailleur is working fine, and you've got a cap on your cable. Apart from that, this bike's ready to go. So that's a quick introduction. So remember the back tire pressure as well, and just spin the wheel, making sure again it's not touching the brake pads. Okay, if they adjust them, make sure the quick release is in an area where you can open it quite easily. This one's quite tight, so again this shouldn't be this tight really. So now someone has tightened that too much, just enough tight, like I said before, just to leave a print on your hand. Okay, so that's an M check, guys. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 point check. Do those check, and inshallah your bike should be nice and ready for you for Saturday. Okay, Assalamu alaikum.